Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. I just put out a video on how Steve Dillon, the comic book artist, was ritually sacrificed October 22nd, 2016 for the Cubs World Series. If you thought that was ridiculous, I'm sorry to say it's not. In the world that we live in, the people who govern over us, who control the media, who control television, who control government, who control sports, they seemingly murder their employees, which are sometimes their actors, their singers, their politicians, by the numbers. The band the Police, in 1983 put out a song, Murder by Numbers, talking about how it's as simple as ABC 1, 2, 3. Well, anyway, the same day Steve Dillon died, so did a Chicago radio personality, Herb Kent. Herb Kent, dead at age 88. The number for time, the number very important to this National League Championship Series. Steve Dillon died the night of October 22nd. So did Herb Kent. This is the same night the Chicago Cubs advanced to the World Series, breaking the 71-year curse. A curse in time. And 8 is that number that represents time. That's why in Back to the Future, when they travel through time, they travel at 88 miles per hour. 8, the infinite loop, the infinity symbol, time, cycles, a pattern, like what 8 symbolizes. If you watched the baseball game, you might know the starter came out after his 88th pitch. They were playing the Los Angeles Dodgers, who last won the World Series in 88. So anyway, here's why Herb Kent was chosen for this ritual sacrifice. In the last video, I covered why Steve Dillon was chosen. If you missed that, the video's in the description. Important information. Here's now why Herb Kent, the 88-year-old Chicago personality, was chosen. And most people are probably thinking, oh, come on, he was 88 years old. If you're saying that, pay attention. These people kill all ages. They killed a 27-year-old during the time of the NBA Finals. They killed a 93-year-old during the time of the Super Bowl. These people are sick. If you've been employed by this gang, seemingly they'll take your life at any given moment if you have the right numbers for it. So let's look at this. His name, Herb Kent, or Kent Herb, which I wrote backwards, has gematria of 38. Herb Kent, 38, the number of death, the number of killing, the number of Jew, the number of Murphy. This same day, the Wall Street Journal came out with an article about how the Cubs are the Jews team. And to me, that's no surprise because Chicago is the Masonic Zionist Jew Mecca, where the Cubs are, Chicago. The name of the goat that the curse was attached to with the Cubs, going back to the 1945 World Series, the curse of the Billy Goat, that goat's name was Murphy, gematria of 38. The name Kent has gematria of 50, the big way. Billy Zionist equals 50. Bill Murray, who went to the White House and said the Cubs would win in Game 6, equals 50. The Cubs won 5-0 in Game 6. America equals 50. 50 states. Kent, 50. Herb also has gematria of 33. Like CC, like Chicago Cubs. C, the third letter. Now they're going to face the team from Cleveland. Cleveland equals 33, the only city that does in the MLB. So does the word Indian. Think about how CC, Christopher Columbus, named the people Indian. We celebrate his holiday in October, the only month that sums to 33 in gematria, the baseball month. So Herb Kent, dead at 88. They called him the Cool Gent, which has gematria 52, like prophecy. The prophecy code, very big in the scripting of sports, rituals. One of Chicago's earliest African-American disc jockeys, Herb the Cool Gent Kent, has died at age 88 after a 7-decade career. Look at what station he was on, V103. And right here is where his fate was sealed, just for being on this station, station 103. Here's what's up with 103. The Cubs won 103 games this year. In Game 6 that they just won, where the starting pitcher came out after his 88th pitch, the game was finished after 103 team pitches. Anyway, Billy Goat equals 103. This is the year they broke the curse of the Billy Goat, connected to Billy Zionist. The story that we're told that mocks us is that Billy Zionist brought the billy goat that's responsible for the curse. Billy Zionist supposedly died 46 years to the day of the curse being broken, October 22nd, 1970. They told us that watching the game exactly before the 88th pitch was thrown. Chicago equals 46, Chicago Cubs equals 46. 46 years later, Chicago Cubs break the curse of the billy goat. So anyway, this man dead at age 88. He was on the station 103 FM. 103 is the 27th prime number. We're talking about Major League Baseball, MLB. Again, this year, before the NBA Finals, Game 7, the actor died at age 27. He had 103 birth numerology. 103 is the 27th prime. Hours later, the Cavs won the NBA Finals in their 103rd game of the season. LeBron James, their star player, scored 27 points. And then 27 days after the finals, his father was murdered, which nobody knows because nobody knows that was his father. His father is Nate Thurmond, the former NBA star who played for the Warriors and Cavs, who was born in Akron, Ohio, just like LeBron James, also where Steph Curry was born, the star of the Warriors that went against the Cavs. Look at Nate Thurmond and tell me that's not the father of LeBron James. Same height, same muscular build, same receding hairline, both amazing basketball players. Very clear that LeBron James was bred like an animal from Nate Thurmond by this same gang of Zionist Jews that murders men by the numbers for ritual sacrifice. That's why in the Bible it says the synagogue of Satan will rule. They are the false Jews. They are the ones we're exposing right here. Notice also this mention of 72 years he was on the air, 27 years with the past show, 27 years, 103, the 27th prime. As for 72, the reflection of 27, the word world equals 72, and the Cubs are off to the World Series, you know? So R.I.P. Herb Kent. In the days ahead, what we're going to read about are more celebrities dying by the numbers, and they're going to be connected to the World Series. We're probably going to see family members of players on the World Series team die. Last year, just before the starting pitch, the starting pitcher lost his father, supposedly just minutes before the start. The two pitchers who pretty much won the final game of the World Series last year, both of them lost their fathers within a month of the World Series, 1 minute before the game, 1 week before the World Series began. There was more, you know. Last year, 57 days after the end of the World Series, Dave Henderson dropped dead at age 57. World Series equals 57. Henderson equals 57. Dave Henderson retired with the Kansas City Royals who won the World Series last year. You know, trust me, truth seeker, I'm tired of doing these videos and exposing all this ritual murder and no one giving a shit. You know? All these people buying sports tickets, going to the game, not realizing how they're duped, how they're being you know, people don't realize what their money's going to. The sickest people ever who murder by the numbers. Let me show you the box score here real quick. Again, the Cubs won 103 games this season. In the final game, the final pitch count for the starting pitcher, 88 pitches, probably the same. They were probably murdering Herb Kent right as he threw his 88th pitch, the way this gang works. 103 total pitches in the game. Billy Goat. Here the starter is coming off after his 88th pitch. Dodgers last won the World Series in 88. So again, if you missed my video on Steve Dillon, it's a must-see as well. You got to have this knowledge. It's linked down in the description. Sadly, I'll be back here in the days to come to show you more. I already know it's going to be that way. Go back and watch the NBA Finals. There must have been 20 people that were murdered during the time of the NBA Finals, including Muhammad Ali, whose death I called in 2014 at age 74. See why Muhammad Ali died on June 3rd. I got all sorts of videos on it. See why Kimbo Slice died at age 42 just days after him. Muhammad Ali became boxing champion in 64. The last year Cleveland had won a pro sports championship. Then lo and behold, Cleveland, Muhammad Ali died after game 1. Cleveland went on to win the championship. What's the hockey player? Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe died at age 88. And then the Warriors never won a single other game for the rest of the season. Warriors finished with 88 wins this year, 88 days after Steph Curry's birthday, 88 connected to time. And just wait until the NBA playoffs roll around and it's Cavs, Chicago Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals. And people are dying in connection with that. That's how it's going to be. Everything by the numbers. Once you know the script, it's easy to see what's going on. Until next time.